Hi, my name is Yu-Lu Yeh, and I won the 2024 North Queensland Ceramic Awards, the City of Townsville Art Collection Prize this year. I would like to talk a little bit about the work that I made. So the Of Motherhood part is started off with my own internal kind of insecurities about my body image and also reaching my mid-30s and feeling very self-conscious, I guess, about looking at all the women around my life. My mother and my friends who's giving birth, and there's people who have miscarriage but they don't talk about it. People keep going through divorce or domestic abuse, and I've seen so many different, I guess, stories that the woman had to face in my own life, like, the people surrounding me. And the question of whether I can have a kid, have children, and be responsible in such a big decision, and coupled with the medical situations between me and my partner, we discuss about having children, and I think all that kind of questions inside was bottling up, and I feel really stifled, and I didn't know how to process it. So I started, I did an open call on Instagram. I decided it's going to be anonymous, so the message board is anonymous, which can still be accessed through the QR code and still an ongoing storytelling, so people can still add to the storyboard. So basically, I just put out an open call saying, I've got an anonymous message. I would like you to think about something maybe you want to say to your mom, to yourself as a mother, or if you decide not to have kids, or you have kids but you regret it, like basically from all sort of perspective, even to your grandmothers, or how we feel about being a woman in the society and the pressures we give ourselves as women in the society, especially to do with being a mother and the caring, the nurturing ones. And it really helped me process, I guess, my own feelings. And I think it's difficult to process. Like, I still feel like I'm still learning about myself through those feelings. I'm not 100% there yet, but I think through this Of Motherhood part, where I got an anonymous message looking back into the Chinese poems and stories about Yu-Lu, and also about, there's a lot of poems in Chinese about what being a woman is like, being a mother is like. It's like trying to consolidate this conflict inside of an Eastern upbringing and like a Western kind of point of view, and I feel this constant struggle inside, try to consolidate, I guess, how I should behave and how I should see myself in these situations. So I started off with the part of motherhood, slow coiling, because it was a meditative practice. I just keep building it, and I was thinking about body images, and naturally the pot kind of became this marriage of feeling disgusted about my own body, like this flab of fat on the tummies, like especially when you give birth, or even I didn't give birth, I still feel like my metabolism has slowed down in my mid-30s, and I start feeling really anxious about my body image. And I think naturally the pot shape turned into this kind of folding, and reminds me, like, kind of disgust but also comforting feelings between the two. Is really interesting, kind of like the conflict I had inside. And then the text I kind of use transcribed the anonymous messages and my own readings of Chinese poems and old ancient poems about mothers. I transcribed them onto the pot, and it was a slow process because I couldn't make a mistake with the iron oxide, because it was smudged. Even if you try to clean it up, it's basically impossible to make it nice and tidy again. So every stroke of the letter and text, if I made a mistake, I just had to keep going. And I had to be mindful and be present when I write each of the texts. I think the difficulty of that pot was when I reached the end of the pot, because I couldn't hold it anymore. So I had to move it outside to my garden and finish the rest of the characters and words. Then I spread a clear glaze with a spray gun on it, before I can actually move it and touch it, because the clear glaze sprayed onto the pot actually protected the text, so I can actually handle it. And because my kiln was really small, I had to borrow, rented a bigger kiln, and had to move it into the car with the seatbelt buckled for the biz firing and also for the second glaze firing. So it was I'm really happy it survived, and it's a really special pot for me because I feel like it's a pot of community, of solidarity between all these women and all these people, not necessarily women, who thought about their mother, thought about the roles of mother. It doesn't have, just all together, put this feeling into this animated object. But then, for some reason, it seems alive, and a lot of people who had hugged the pot, which I invited people to do, to embrace the pot, had felt really emotional. And there are some people who told me they had written things onto my message board that they couldn't say to their mom, and they felt really relieved afterwards. So that's all really heartwarming to hear, and I'm really glad. And to have this pot to become a public art collection in Townsville, for more people to see, for more people to contribute to the QR code, to message board, and together, I think if we read each other's messages, read each other's stories and feelings, we can be in it together. We can be in this kind of uncertainties and this body image and all those issues, like whatever you're facing, difficulties. I feel like we can band together and process our feelings together. So hopefully that's a little bit of explanation about my work, and I hope if you see the work at the galleries, you'll really enjoy and see all those aspects and feel all those aspects I just talked about. Thank you guys so much. I could not believe I won, and I'm very, very grateful. So thank you so much.